Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of my podcast, Explore and Engage with Anam. In this episode, I would like to talk about immigration. And anyone who has been listening to my podcast already knows that I have talked a great deal about the topic of immigration, and I have discussed the migrant crisis in New York City, the migrant crisis in Chicago, what's happening in California. I've talked about various immigration issues. And I will continue to talk about immigration-related topics because it's important. And as a nation, we are facing a crisis right now. There's a crisis at the southern border of the United States because foreign nationals are entering our country by violating our nation's immigration laws. And so, my friends, in this episode, I would like to talk about, very briefly, I'd like to talk about the difference between legal immigration and illegal immigration. There are foreign nationals who wish to come to the United States to live and work here, and they are doing it by following our nation's immigration laws. They are doing it by going through the proper immigration process. They are completing all the proper paperwork, and they are also going through thorough background check. So these are foreign nationals, the legal immigrants. They are foreign nationals who are entering our country through the proper process. And they wish to come here to live and work. And they are bringing their knowledge and their skills. And they are coming here and helping make our country stronger. And on the other hand, we have a crisis at the southern border, which is the problem of illegal immigration. Illegal immigrants are individuals who are entering the United States by violating our nation's immigration laws. They are entering the United States without permission, without authorization, without proper paperwork. And that's a problem that we must address. When President Trump was in power, his administration worked really hard to secure the southern border of the United States and to enforce our nation's immigration laws. But since President Joe Biden came to power, his administration has not secured the southern border. And that's why we have seen that millions of illegal immigrants have entered the United States. And that's a problem. And so, my friends, the United States welcomes immigrants as long as the immigrants come in through the proper immigration process, and as long as the immigrants follow American laws and enter the country legally. But what's happening at the southern border, that's a different story. That's illegal immigration. And that is something that we must prevent. But the Biden administration has not stopped illegal immigration. They have not secured the southern border, which is why we have this crisis. Millions of foreign nationals have already entered the United States since 2021. Since President Joe Biden came to power, millions of foreign nationals have entered the United States by violating our nation's immigration laws, and they have just walked across the southern border and they have entered our country without proper paperwork, without permission. That's illegal immigration. And so there's a big difference. On one hand, you have legal immigration, people who are following the proper process, and they are following our nation's immigration laws. They're respecting the rule of law. They're going through proper background check, doing proper paperwork, and they're coming in legally. And then you have, on the other hand, folks who are entering the United States illegally, without paperwork, without permission, without authorization. And so illegal immigration is something that we have to prevent. And the Trump administration was working really hard to secure the southern border and to stop the flow of illegal immigrants. But the Biden administration took a completely different approach. Border security doesn't seem to be a priority for them. The Biden administration has not secured the southern border, which is why we have this crisis today. And so there's a difference. My friends, every year, approximately 1 million people enter the United States to live and work here, they do it through the proper legal process, the proper immigration process. And hundreds of thousands of foreign nationals become naturalized American citizens every single year. They are the legal immigrants. They are the people who are coming to the United States to help make our country stronger and more successful. My friends, share with me your thoughts. What do you think about this crisis that we have at the southern border? I want to hear your thoughts. If you live in a border state, if you live in a state like Texas and Arizona, what problems are you witnessing there because of illegal immigration? If you live in New York City or in Chicago and you're listening to this podcast, share with me your thoughts about the migrant crisis in your city. And I will continue to talk about the topic of immigration. I'll continue to share my views and opinions through my podcast. And I appreciate you all staying connected with me. Thank you for continuing to listen to my podcast. You can also go to my website, tawsifanam.net. You can check out my blog. I also have written many blog posts about immigration-related topics. And I hope to be back again with a new episode very soon. So thank you for staying connected, and please send me a message. Share with me your thoughts.